Dear small group leaders, welcome back to another awesome ministry year. My name is Katie LeClaire, the Director of Youth and Family Faith Formation at Gloria Dei Lutheran Church, in case you found us on YouTube and are watching us for no good reason. I have this many announcements for our small groups leaders in our virtual meeting because we're not getting together to meet in person as a group. Unless you want to come in, we can definitely meet. Anytime you set up an appointment with me, we'll just do it. Trying to get everybody together probably isn't going to work. And before I begin, today's small group leader virtual meeting is brought to you by Skippy Natural Singles. They're creamy. There's 5 cups. Nope. There's 6 cups, and you can dip your apples in them. They're great. And there's 270 calories per serving. Hey, we're going to have just a fantastic 2015-16 ministry year. I've got it all figured out. And I'm going to tell you all about it, at least to get us started, and then we'll see where we go from there. But there's some slight differences from previous years, so I want to make sure to convey that to you and make sure that you know that I welcome early questions. Please talk to me before we get everything rolling, particularly on kickoff night, which is September 16th. Let me know if you have any concerns. I'd love to hear about that early than the week of. Okay. This year, one of the first differences you're going to notice is that our curriculum won't be needing to be given to you week by week. They're all online. All lessons are ready to go in a pack, and they're downloadable on our website. Looks like this. If you were a 9th and 10th grade small group leader and you have all your lessons in one booklet ready to go, 7th and 8th grade have their own. We have our new fancy logo on there. And you're not a mentor, but if you were, your packet would look like this, same as everybody else. Those are on the web, and I can print you a copy as well. Let me know if you need me to print you a copy. Our first official Bible study lesson that you're going to be using these for is not until September 30th, so you don't really need it quite yet, and I'll explain why. But you can have those, and it explains each week, and you'll know which weeks we're off and stuff like that too, because you hopefully, this is upside down, already downloaded one of these calendars for confirmation. That's also on our youth website, the church website, the youth section. You're going to be able to get the calendar and everything you need, but if you have questions about that, let me know. That changes what I'm going to be sending you weekly for announcements. You should be getting a weekly email from me for small group leaders. Look for those on Thursdays when we get started, and I won't be needing to attach your lessons anymore because, yay, they're already done. The big thing, I hope, is the benefit of having those lessons early is that if you have students that had to miss a week, parents can look at the lessons and make it up at home, or kind of look at what the Bible study was about. Probably can't duplicate the cool games we play, but please remind parents that all of that stuff is online, so they can at least cover the learning content pieces at home if it's possible to do that. If you're new, we have several new small group leaders this year, so just so you know the way that the lessons are written, we write them all here in conjunction with myself and the pastors. You're going to have more than you need each lesson. You're going to have more options and more activities than you're going to have time for. And so you do need to spend some time before the lesson begins, looking it over and picking out what's going to work best for your group. However, I give you that option. Please find a way to prioritize the Bible part of the lesson. Sometimes you even have more scriptures than you're going to need to go through, but pick the one that has the most personal meaning to you so you can talk to it a little bit and get the group discussing it, which is even more important than hearing your voice, if you know what I mean. Make it happen. And if you need tips on how to do that because you're getting stuck doing too many highs and lows or you're getting distracted too often, let me know. I've been doing this for a long time. I can give you some tips or come visit your group, but it's really important that you choose the activities that are going to work and then make sure you're done by 7:30. So the goal is to have a large group mixer every week. This is the general plan. It'll change week to week, but you're going to have a general mixer led by someone in the beginning for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, then a teaching segment in large group by a pastor or myself or a guest. Again, generally that's going to be 10, 15 minutes, sometimes longer, sometimes not. And you're going to have about a half hour, maybe 40 minutes tops in your small group. You're going to want to find a place in the building where that works for you. So if there's a way to get out of room 100 where the 9th and 10th grade groups meet, or if there's a way to get out of fellowship hall where the 7th and 8th graders meet, try to not be by another group, and get your lesson completed together. So sometimes you're going to have to bring stuff from home, so you do have to look over the lessons a little bit ahead of time, because there's some activities that you might really want to do but you needed to bring like rubber bands or something. So rubber bands, something from home, deck of cards or something. And those are sometimes great pieces to give away. Ask for the parents in your small group to help with some of that. You don't have to do it all. One of the things that I'm going to leave up to group leaders this year, we've talked about it every year, is cell phone usage. Yours as well as your students. Decide about that. Decide during your group covenant, which we'll talk about in just a second. Come up with what your request is as a leader, and propose that as an idea for the group and get their buy-in from it. But give them the option to kind of give their voice too. There's sometimes where you might want to engage the technology if you can get a signal in the building, which isn't always possible, but you might have students look up things on their phone Bibles, if they have one, or a song that they want to share, things like that. We don't limit that, but it can get out of hand, so I'm going to leave that up to the leaders. If you need help policing that, let us know. Next, I'm kind of jumping around, as I always do. 2 big nights that I want you to be aware of right off the bat are the 16th, well, 3 big nights. The 16th is kickoff for all 4 grades, because the 9th of September is just a 7th grader orientation. I'm just going to give an overview of confirmation to the 7th grade families, and then they have their acolyte training. We're going to review a lot of that on the 16th and add a lot more detail, because you'll be with the 8th graders. And then 9th and 10th grade on the 16th of September meet separately with their parents in another room to have their orientation and goal setting for the year. So those nights are just an orientation and kickoff. You'll meet with your small group leader, exchange how to contact you as a small group leader. Please have a sheet ready. Please, if there's a way for you to remember to just print off like a half sheet of paper with your email and phone number, or however you want people to contact you, and have that ready to hand out to all your parents, and then plan on getting that from them as well. I'm going to have a sheet for you to verify all the information they've given me for registration that you can fill out, but I need those back, so you're going to need to get one too, and then we'll work on that this month, and then I'll give you a finalized one. This will all be in an email too if this gets confusing. But that's the 16th is our regular kickoff. 7th and 8th grade meet separate from 9th and 10th grade. And then on the 23rd, a big night for you. There's no large group planned, and we're going to have all groups, all 4 grades, plan their own bonding night, and you're going to work on your group covenant, your plan for the year as far as service projects go, and I'll tell you about that a little bit. Organize this however you want. You've got an entire hour to play board games, to take pictures. I would recommend doing like a snack luck or a candy luck, like a potluck but with snacks or candy. My favorite. Have your parents help you bring all that in, your group parents. Parents aren't coming to that night. That's your first small group, just get to know each other thing. And you can meet wherever you want in the building. I'd really love if that night was just your group and you didn't mix with other groups, because there are some students here, not a lot, but there are a few who I hear from that are really having a tough time making friends. And the bigger the groups get, the less likely they are to connect with someone. So use that night just for your small group, to get to know one another and let them get to know you too. It's really important. Every year I ask students, who's your small group leader? And they're like, she's got brown hair. I mean, tell them your name. It's so important. I don't even know. I don't know how that gets past people, but as they're getting to know one another, please help them get to know you too. But you have that whole hour on the 23rd to just mix it up and to have fun and don't leave a big mess. Then on the 30th is your first Bible study night, regular large group, small group stuff starts. You have a calendar. It's on the internet. I already sent it to you. Explains all that. The other there's one other highlight for the fall that I really want to draw your attention to, is a little different this year, is October 21st is a Wednesday. It's a normal confirmation night, but we're all going to be together in the fellowship hall for an outreach night with St. Stephen's housing program. It's a part of a long kickoff to Project Home Ministry here. We're starting all that earlier in conjunction with Cardboard Box City is an event which I don't know if I have time to tell you about today, but you already know what Cardboard Box City is probably, at the State Fairgrounds. But on the 21st, we're going to have a drama group come in that's made up of professional actors who are also homeless for the most part, and they're going to teach us some valuable things about housing issues and poverty issues through drama. We're all together for that. Parents should come, mentors should come, small group leaders should come, but it's one big large group the whole hour from 6:30 to 7:30. And there's no small groups that night, just so you're aware of that's coming up. It's the week after MEA. And the other 2 dates, I keep saying, there's only 2. You have service projects to do. You have 2 this year as a group. I'm giving you the 18th of November and the 20th of January to plan your own service project. And this is something you'll want to think about on your mixing night on the 23rd. And maybe mention on the 16th, too, when you meet with parents, if it's something that you've already decided that you want to work on. You have 2 nights, a night out. You should be out in the community doing something if possible. Use this as a meeting place as your very last resort. Really push yourselves to get out into the community and find something to do. I've got a huge stack of opportunities, and I have a list growing. If you are out of ideas or you need help with that, I've got a ton that I can get you. But be thinking about that early, because those dates always creep up on people, and that's usually the highlight of many students' year, what they did for their service project. I will have a small group substitute leader email list started, and I'll distribute that as soon as we're done with our confirmation registrations. I've got about 14 people already that said they could be a sub, so if there's already weeks you know you're going to be gone, just find a sub from that list. You don't need to involve me with that, but you can always copy me, because I love email. It's my favorite. And you should have that. So if you already know that you're going to be gone some weeks, find a sub, because we have lots of people who said they want to help. Only a few more things. I don't know how many even minutes I'm doing here. You have my email, because that's probably how you found this, but you should have my cell phone number too, and that is in the email I sent you. And please have that stuff with you, so you can contact me, and I try to get right back to you if possible. Let me know what questions you have early. 2 final announcements just for this orientation update. We have had some reports of frustrating behavior in the small groups, and I wish I didn't find out about that months after the fact. Please let me know if I don't walk around and observe every group, because it's not really my style to sit in on all the groups all the time. If you're having any behavior issues that feel like they're escalating, contact me right away, and I will be able to give you the resources that you need, or maybe you need a co-leader or someone to help you with that. Don't let that get out of control, because it will only get worse if it's not addressed. And if we need to do some group switching, get some people moved around, let's do that early in the year. Don't wait. The final thing is, the pastors have requested that they can visit your small groups this year. So what I'm going to do is set up as part of their teaching calendar which groups they visit. And you can expect to have someone, myself, Pastor Javen, Pastor Bradley, or Pastor Lois when she comes back in November, at one time during the year, just once, one of us. So only ever one visit for the whole year. One of us will be visiting your group, hopefully, and just to sit in and make some friends and to learn everybody's names and how things are going. So if there's a particular group that you want us to visit your group, one of us will come visit one time, not all of us at different times. That's a high request from our pastors, and so I'm really thankful for that. I think that's great. I have been praying for you. Our entire team is almost complete. I'm still waiting for a couple small group leader places to be filled up. Groups look different this year than they did last year. I have a lot of intention behind that, but if you have questions about why your group looks so different, let's talk. Talk to me. Okay, I hope that you have a great rest of the summer, early fall until we see you. See you in church.